Welcome to May, everybody. I'm so excited to be with here on the computer with you guys. Me and Jennifer's computers are on, but our faces are here. But I know you are all there helping take care of babies and getting them baths and in the bed, and or maybe doing something else. Maybe you have your pajamas on and don't want us to see your face yet. But anyway, so I wrote down, y'all, seriously, I wrote down March on my sticky notes. Like I am losing it. By this time of the day, I have no brain cells left. Okay, so it is May, and I wanted to just kind of go back to what's kind of going on right now, but we have something else we're really going to dive into here in a few minutes. So, um, first off, has anybody ordered Iron Woman yet? Or does anybody even struggle with their iron? Maybe you don't struggle with that. Um, if you haven't ordered it, I would put that on your subscription order this month because it is very good. If you order your triplex, just go ahead and put the one that there's a combo that has in fact, if you do it pretty soon, you might get the free lip gloss. So you can get your triplex with your Iron Woman. It's a combo together, and then they're giving away lip gloss. So that's exciting. Mine's in there for tomorrow, so hopefully they still have some by tomorrow. But if you haven't heard about it or don't really know about what it is a specific, got one more coming. It is a specific probiotic that is, well, it's got iron in it, but it also has a probiotic in it. And so it's a lot of people that are low in iron cannot take the iron pills that they give you at the doctor because it one really upsets their stomach or it gives them severe constipation. And so they just don't even take them. But I will kind of give you all a little personal story for myself. I went to the doctor in December, thought I was healthy as a horse, which I am pretty healthy, really healthy according to my blood work. But my iron level, the ferritin level, which is not just your iron level. Like if they test your iron, if they want to go deeper, they check your ferritin level. My hair was falling out, and I was like, okay, I'm either like, I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy. They're like, no, your hair's definitely falling out. And so they checked my ferritin level. I think it was like a 8, and it's supposed to be like in the 80s. My ferritin level was so low that I didn't even know that the symptoms that I was having were linked to my iron level. And it's because, like Kristen was saying, um, okay, yeah, several of you are saying you've had low iron, and mine was because I have a large fibroid in my uterus, and so I have very heavy cycles, and it's just due to having the fibroid. So that is when I saw because I take 2 iron pills a day right now, just to try to get my level up, and it's like 20, and so it's still got a long way to go. So I was so excited, like I almost teared up. I was like so thankful that there is a pill, like something that's coming out from Plexus, because I've been taking this stuff from the doctor and prescription. It's just like I'd rather take something that I know is a good product. And this is such a big deal for so many women. And like Shelby said, some people have the opposite problem. They run too high. Some of us run too low. So if you do not have that, go ahead and get it. And it might be something that even if you don't struggle with it, you could, people are talking about it like, oh yeah, my iron's low. You can be like, oh, hey, let me just give you a couple of these to try because it will help you with the digestive part of taking iron, which I'm just going to go ahead and say, because Plexus is so good, I'm taking 2 iron pills a day and I have not noticed any change. There are people that I have told I'm taking 2 iron pills and they're like, oh my word, how are you doing it? And I'm like, it's because of Plexus, because it helps my gut. It keeps things going the way it's supposed to be going. Okay, so Iron Woman, add it to your thing. I think it's only $19, which is a really good price for something like that. So get that in there. If you I don't know if you guys saw, but there is, if you add 3 level 1s, there's a wallet. Some of y'all may know what this is. Andar Thinner. Does anybody know? I bet some of you other younger girls will know what that is. But anyway, a wallet. Everybody loves a new wallet anyway. And so, has anybody ever received the monthly incentive? They're really, really good. Has anybody ever gotten one? I have gotten one. Okay, if you haven't gotten one, they are so worth it to just go for a personal goal. Okay, so not only that, the last few months they've been doing this code that I really like. So if you do have a new person that's ready to get started, you can do the save 10 code. So it's just the word save 10, and that's off the welcome pack or the combo, not necessarily a welcome pack. I don't have to do a welcome pack, but any combo. And then give 10 is for this is a really good code, y'all. If you have people who didn't order last month, they just order every now and then. Even if you have your husband signed up under you and he didn't place it and you didn't place an order for him last month, you can use this code. You can use this code every other month. In fact, if you want to, as long as they have it. I mean, take advantage of it, or if your mom sends an order through every now and then and you need to order her something, then use the give 10 code, but you do have to have 50 PV. So that would be like 2 ProBio 5s or a ProBio 5 and a BioCleanse. Just kind of look through there. You can get $10 off even a family's order. So take advantage of it. Okay, something to know. I know that not all of us are even close to this, but it is exciting because you might decide that you want to go for it. And that's that we have double rank up bonuses this month. And that is just for people, this for gold and up. And so I believe that I ranked up in one of those a long, long time ago. I think I ranked up like Senior Ruby during a double rank up bonus, and I think I made $1,500, and that was like years ago when money like was worth more. Anyway, so if you want to go for it, y'all, like it is entirely possible. I've seen people rank up to gold in 1 month, and it can be done. So if that's something that you're like, yeah, I think I might want to go for it, then just reach out to us. We can help you make it happen. And then I think that's all that's kind of going on for the month. Did I miss anything, Jennifer? Oh, yes, convention. Convention. Okay, yes, me and Jennifer will be there, and Sam is going to be there. And there is probably still time for people to come. We'll be in Las Vegas in the month of June, the week after Father's Day, I believe. Is that right, Jennifer? I believe it's the week after Father's Day. And it's really going to be a really fun time. I know it's the city of Las Vegas and it's Sin City, and y'all, it is Sin City, but I have to admit, it is pretty awesome. The show that they put on and the way that they do it. But if you're interested in going, we would love for you to come with us. We still have space in our room, and I think you would have a wonderful time. And seeing the backside of the company just means so much more. I don't know if you guys saw this in the group, the group the other day, and I shared it in there, but our company actually has something where if like I died or Jennifer died or whoever died, then that business doesn't just die with me. Like they don't just suddenly say, oh, that person's gone. No, you can actually take this business that I have and that all of us have can go to our family member. So I could pass it to my husband, to have until maybe he wanted to give it to one of our children or whatever. And so that money continues to stay there. It would be like if I had a rental house and I died, well, the rental house is not just going to, go away. It's still going to be making money. And so that residual income can go to our family. And so that's just amazing. Like, I don't know that is in every company. And the way that Plexus honors people and honors their life, I think it's just an amazing thing. And I think that y'all would be so pleasantly surprised to meet our company's president, to meet our company's CEO, to meet the people that work at Plexus and just see how genuine and real that they are and how much for you that they are. Like this is a company that they live and breathe what they call the field, which is us. They do everything that they do to serve us. And so I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm not just blowing smoke, as they say. So that's enough about that. We're going to kind of switch gears, and Jennifer and I are going to do. Does anybody have any questions about that before we go any farther?
Who else is going with me and Ashley and Sam? It's not too late.
Not.
I wish Michelle
decided this when I went the first time. It was like this time. It was really close. It may have even, y'all, it may have even been like 2 weeks before convention. I decided I would.
Well, Shelby is carrying a little one. Otherwise, she'd probably be thinking about it. Michelle lives close to me, and I'm like, oh, I wish Michelle was going so we could be travel
Great,
partners.
Michelle.
And
Oh,
I
goodness.
know Kelly's been, so she's been to Vegas. She hasn't been to convention, but hopefully one summer we're gonna get all of these ladies there. I'm excited.
You place. Right now, with having to help take care of my parents, it's a little hard to. We did take vacation last week, but I try to stay at home, a lot more because it takes all of us to take
to
care
help
of.
out.
Yeah, so got several doctor's appointments and weekly and all that too. So anyway, maybe one of these days though.
That's what we're hoping. Anna, don't worry. I didn't want to leave mine either, and you don't have to. That is what is so awesome. I have left mine the last 3 years that I have gone, or this will be my third year going in person to it. And so I have left mine. Mine are older, but when I went for the first time, I was pleasantly surprised at how well everything is for mamas of babies. So, there are people all over that have their little babies just holding them right here. Mamas everywhere, and they've got nursing rooms. And I mean, it is don't ever let that hold you back. So now, obviously, when they're toddlers and they're running around, it is a whole lot harder to take them. But those little ones that are just barely crawling, there's mamas everywhere with them. So I know Amanda's taking her little one.
Yeah, I've actually taken a baby to convention before too, but it wasn't to Las Vegas. I'm proud of Amanda. She's doing it.
Yep. Yep.
But I have taken one, and it was so fun. Because I don't know. I'm not very social. I am social, but not. I'm like both, and I could be like the baby's tired. And I could go take a nap. Okay, so we're going to switch gears, and we're going to go to what we're going to be concentrating on for the month. Okay, so everybody knows that every month you want to set some goals. You want to say, okay, it doesn't have to be goals that are necessarily even measurable sometimes. You might want to set a point goal. You might want to say, okay, I want to re-rank silver. Okay, I want to add at least 2 people. I think it's good to name those goals as you start on a new month, but I think it's also good to start out with things that you can control. So we can't control ultimately how many people we add to our team, although I believe that it's a good thing to at least try to think that way. But we can control what we do to get to that place. And so I know that many of us on this call, we've been sitting in the same place for a while, including myself. Y'all may not know that, but I haven't really, my points have been about the same for a really long time. I know Jennifer's have. I don't look at everybody's points every month, but I know about Jennifer. We talk about hers a lot. And so, I believe that the only way for us to change anything like that is for us to do something different. And so I feel like Plexus work is a lot mundane. I feel like a lot of what we do is wrapped up in following up with a customer or reaching out to a new person or posting on social media, posting in our stories. A lot of it's really just mundane work. But I feel like that is where that we actually grow our businesses. So it's kind of like being a mama, and everybody on here is a mom. Well, except for Kristen, but Kristen, you know what I'm talking about, okay? Or being a Christian even, okay? We don't grow in our walk with the Lord by just, showing up to church on Sunday morning. It might help a little bit, but it really doesn't cause true growth and because we have to do the mundane stuff, which is sitting there, reading your Bible, praying. It's the stuff that's the same thing every single day. And then, but the same thing is true about being a mom. I think about like when we take our children on these huge trips or like convention, like we're going to convention, like that's a great thing to go to. And it does help your business a lot actually. But as a mom, think about it like, oh, I take my kid to Disney World. Well, that doesn't necessarily make me a good mom. being a good mom is found in the mundane things of cooking my children a meal every single day, 3 times a day. It's giving them a hug. It's tucking them into bed. It's the laundry in their room. Those are the things that make a good mom. Well,
Yes.
the same thing is true about Plexus. Like, we can't just expect our business to grow when we're just kind of sparsely working every now and then. And then, a lot of times I have had this happen to me a lot with people on my team. You're like, well, I just can't do it. And I'm like, well, you haven't done the things that make it happen yet, because it's not in the spectacular, it's found in the mundane. And so I say all that to say, I would like for all of you to set a goal that you can control, and also a goal that probably you can't, which is, I would like to see my points at 25. I would like to see my points at 35 or 50, or maybe you're in the 200s and you're like, I would like to see this number. But if it don't get there, I'm not going to deflate. I'm not going to quit, but I'm going to do the things that I can control, which means that I'm going to do the mundane work of, and I wrote out everything because I'm like, what does it really entail? I do this job, but what does it entail? Well, it entails getting out of our comfort zone, posting in our news feed, posting in our stories from time to time, getting out of our comfort zone, messaging people, following up with customers, following up with potentials. Like, I know this team had an event not long ago. I know Jennifer's team, not the whole team, but Jennifer's team had an event a few weeks ago. It's following back up with those people, and it's networking. It's um, you know, seeing this person that and adding them as a friend. But when you meet new people, adding them on Facebook so that, yes, you can be their friend, yes, you can love them, but they really need Plexus, and you just may not know that. So all of that to say, Jennifer and I are going to do a little interview, and she's going to interview me about some things. And we weren't going to do me. I didn't want to be doing all the talking because I've been doing all the talking. We did have somebody else that we were hoping would be able to do this, but because they weren't able to come tonight, Jennifer's just going to interview me.
Yes, and what's so great is Ashley doesn't know any of the questions I'm going to ask. So she was like, "Can you do this?" I said, "I'm ready. I've written down all these ideas. I don't have anything written out. I just have little spurts. I have bullet points." So, and most of you, with the exception of maybe one or two on here, are you're not new with the products, but you're newer at maybe working the business. And so, some of y'all know, some of you may not know, Ashley and I go way back, like as kids going to camp together. Okay. And then we reconnected in college. So I've known Ashley a long time, and she's known me a long time. So we know each other's strengths, we know each other's weaknesses. And so sometimes we use those when we team up and do things. And so that's always good that we know each other so well. So one of the things that I know that really held Ashley back from something was she was not big on posting on social media. So Ashley, tell me a little bit about that, your struggle with when you first started actually sharing the products on social media. And I want you to tell me about some of the actual feelings you had doing those posts.
Okay, it was basically like somebody was pulling my toe off because it hurt that bad. Like, it physically hurt inside of my body because I didn't want to do it so much. Like, no, love you. You want to wait? Say bye. Okay, it's okay. I was not a social media person, really. I would get on there, but like a lot of people do, just kind of stalk, and every now and then I would post. Very rarely. It was always just something spiritual that God was teaching me. And whenever I started with this, I'm like, you are joking me, because they were telling us back then to post 2 and 3 times a day about Plexus on top of our personal posting. So it was just very different, and it was very, very hard. Feelings would be worried about what people thought about me, worried that people would think I had lost my mind, worried because it was something new. I was a pastor's wife, a new pastor's wife at the time. I had never known a pastor's wife who'd ever done a business like this. I was a very much stay-at-home mom to the utter core. I believed that I left my job for a reason, that, you know, I was fine if I never posted on social media ever. I mean, in fact, I would delete my Facebook regularly just so that I wouldn't be distracted by it. And so to be on there and to be doing that, it just felt like it wasn't me for a while. And then I really had to surrender a whole lot of that to God, because when you pray and ask God to send you some help, because I was doing all these other businesses, I was like substitute teaching, and that was ridiculous online. I was doing online subbing, and I had 3 boys, 4 and under, and yeah, that didn't work out too well. And I was trying to do piano lessons, and I mean, when you really have a desperate need. And so I just prayed that God would send me something. And then when He did, I wanted to not do it. And it was very painful, but it was very growing at the same time.
So you would say you really had to push through some fears and some things that you did not want to do.
Yeah, a bunch.
All right. So let me ask you this. Did you feel that you were influential?
I can't say no, because I feel like I had always loved people well. And I don't mean like I'm good at it, but what I mean is like I tried to just love on them. And I feel like it made them more open to it. But as far as being influential, like I know influential people, and I was not one of them. But
All right, so what would
they
you
knew.
say? What would you say if somebody says, okay, 2 things. If somebody says, I have a really small network and I don't have a lot of influence, what would you tell them?
Well, you need to go out and build a network by loving people. Like that's what builds a network is, um, well, number one, putting yourself out there and offering some kind of value to your network would add network, build network. And everybody has an interest. Like I have an interest in homeschooling, and I'm in several groups with boys of ADHD, and now I'm in several adoption groups. You can comment on those posts in there and make friendships. I actually have friendships that are my customers based upon groups that I've joined, not because I wanted to get a new customer, but because I was networking for myself. But then it also turned into a friendship. And those people love Plexus, and it's helped them. So I would say we are only as small as we think we are. And it's not really about who you know, it's about who your friends know. Because the girl that actually introduced me to Julie Courtwright, who is an emerald on my team, um, this girl would have been the definition of somebody who didn't have a big network, like probably 100 friends when she started Plexus, if that. And she just knew somebody who needed Plexus. We talked to them. They started to work the business. Well, this person had a huge network that had never heard of Plexus before, ever. You just never know.
So would you say that everybody has some type of influence, whether
Oh,
they believe they do or
absolutely.
not?
100%, because you have people that God has placed in your life that need what you have, whether that's Plexus or not. And I feel like that's where we get it wrong a lot of times, because we think that we have to offer the Plexus part when really they just need us, and the Plexus part happens naturally.
Yes, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. All right, so let me ask you this. I get this a lot. I am way too busy to be doing Plexus. I get that all the time, and I work full time and have 2 children and do a whole lot more than a whole lot of people. And I'm like, honey, if I got time, you got time. Do you? So tell me, what do you say when somebody says that? When they say, I'm way too busy to be sharing Plexus? Yes, I love the products, but I'm too busy. I don't have time.
Oh, I wish I could say that I have a great answer. There are friends that I have that would have a better answer than me. I don't really have a good one to that, because
Busy
I
people, busy people manage their time well.
yes, that's a better. Yeah, I knew you'd have a better answer than me, because I sometimes fall into the trap of, oh, I'm so sorry. While, in the same time, I do feel that way, because I know what it's like to be very harried and stressed. But like you said, busy people actually do better at this business, because they're already busy. It's like drowning and somebody throwing you another thing. You just go further in. I mean, it's like you just, and it's all about what we make it. If God has given you this, it's really not about how busy we are. It's about the fact that, okay, it's in our hand. We have to do it as unto Him for His glory. We can't just hold on to it and make excuses. This is bad to say, but I have this. A lot of people will be like, "Well, I'm trying," but I heard this at Jewel School, and it was like, "Trying." Y'all don't shoot me, okay? But the quote that this woman said was, "Trying is lying," and y'all, we know that. It's like when our husband's like, you're like, "Why didn't you take the trash out?" And he's like, "Well, I tried," and you're like, "You did not try. You could have done it if you wanted to." Anybody else like that? Anyway, but we make a lot of excuses for ourselves, and we do. But at the same time, I do acknowledge that there are legitimate seasons and legitimate times where we do sort of have to pull away, but get right back in.
All right. I know we're running short on time, so I have just a few more. Okay. Um, you hear people talk a lot of our leaders talk about how this business is a lot of personal growth. I will say I didn't understand what that meant until going for gold and beyond. So when people talk or they say, oh, this business will just allow you to grow personally more than you would if you had not done it. Exactly what do they mean when they say that?
Oh man, you should have gave me these questions before. Okay, so I believe that when you've done this business, and what I really mean is that you really gave it your best. Number one, it's going to produce, no, here I go numbering things. I'm a teacher. It's going to produce character that you didn't know you had, because in order to do this business, you have to be willing to put yourself out there in a way that you never have before. And that therefore opens you up to attack. And so you have to be so confident in what you have and what you are doing, and in the Lord taking care of you, that it begins to grow you as a person. And then so that builds your character, and it builds your confidence. It builds your stamina, because you're able to withstand under that pressure, even when you get darts thrown at you. I shared this on a call last night with somebody else. The very first time that I sent a message, the very first message I sent to somebody about Plexus 8 years ago, I got back the ugliest response that I have ever received in 8 years. It was the first message I ever sent. And I believe that that was just part of the Lord's growing me, letting me know that I could withstand hard things. And so, yes, you will be subjected to hard things, and you have to be willing to withstand and uphold in those times and go to Him for comfort, because there will be hard things, but there'll also be joyful times when you literally change somebody's life with your product. And that they have that product in their hands because of you. There will be friends that you make. I love every person on this call that I have been so blessed to know. I don't think I knew anybody on here before Plexus except Jennifer. And I have all of you in my life now. So you're growing in friendship, but you're also growing in your courage, to do those hard things. And I think with every it is kind of like for coming into a new level or something. Every time that you go through, like you said, going to gold leadership, I mean, that's a huge thing. Um, Not thinking about yourself so much, thinking about others. What am I doing this for? Purpose. Like, I feel like I could go on and on.
No, all that's really good. That's kind of what I was thinking was what you had shared is I think some of the hardest things, and I apologize, y'all, my cats, they have the I don't know what you call it, but they're running around my house like crazy right now. So I'm sorry if you hear noise. But I think that's one of the hardest things through this journey is maybe sometimes getting back that response and working through it. I will say I'm like you, that's very, very few.
Yeah.
Most of the time people just won't respond when you send a message.
Yeah.
Very rarely have I ever had anybody be ugly. And I've actually only had it happen one time.
Mhm.
And she sent me back a really ugly message and then deleted me and blocked me. So I mean, wasn't anybody I was close to. I just, I think I invited her to an event or asked if she might be open to hearing more about it. And she blew up at me. So, you just never know. And that's why it's always good. We always say, hey, if you're going to message somebody, maybe just check out their social media, make sure that like they didn't have some kind of crazy event happening. And so I think maybe times were kind of hard in her life and I just didn't know it. But anyways, outside of that, that's few and far between. But a situation like that will just kind of go, whoo, and you kind of have to recover from it. And it's just like as a Christian, when the Lord puts you through trials, and when do you grow the closest to Him, right? When do you grow the most spiritually is through the hard times and through the trials. Like we know that, like being in the fire, what does that do? That helps to purify us, right? And helps us to change and mold us and things like that. So I always say, like, some of the hardest times in this business grow me the most. But that leads us to some of the joyful times. And so some of you have not experienced this yet, and some of you have when you have somebody sign up for the first time, and then the second time, and then the third time. And it's still like so giddy even now with me and Ashley. Like I'm 7 years. She started a year before me, 8 years. And even when I get a person to sign up, like it is just such a really cool feeling. And then, if you can get them through the detox and get them hooked on, you get a lifer like Kelly that's on here and Michelle that's on here. Like, when Kelly tells me, I don't know, I guess it was 6 months into it that, her husband tells her Plexus has gave me my wife back, and that just, that just does so much. Like, that's why I do this. Like, if I don't do this for any other reason, that right there, that's why, those are the points where you realize it is not about me. It's not about me sharing or making money. It's about somebody getting help. And two, like, I look at every person on this call, and especially, like my teammates and my team members on here. And I'm like, Shelby and I, we didn't really keep in touch that much. We would message back here and forth. And, I worked on building a relationship with her. And like, I love chatting with her and talking. And we had a long conversation on Saturday just about things outside of Plexus. Sam moved away. She used to go to church with me, and she moved away. And so I told y'all they're just something else right now. But, her and I have gotten to keep in touch because she's sharing Plexus right now, and she's trying to add some people, and she's going to convention, and she wants other people to realize how good these products are. And that's why I love so much doing this business with Ashley, because let's just be honest, Ashley and I would probably have a hard time keeping in touch if we didn't do Plexus and weren't messaging a few times each day. So like the network, for me, I'm extroverted. And so we automatically adopt introverted friends. Like Ashley didn't have a choice to be my friend. I just took her in. And so, but it's been great. Like I've loved the network. I've loved making new friends, because like I would have never met Amanda had it not been joining Plexus, and Jennifer Harmon, and so many other members of our team, Julie and Valerie, and Gina, many team, even sidelines. So with that, I've got one more question. Okay. So you went Emerald in 2022, right? 2 years. What are some of the perks of being a Jewel?
Well, I think that, are you talking about like practical perks? Like if you can get a car if you want a car kind of thing?
Yeah, any of those things. Like, what do you enjoy the most about achieving that rank? Like, you worked really hard for it, and you get perks as Emerald.
Okay, so the practical side of it is that you can get a car bonus, and you can get a Lexus if you want a Lexus, and there's several different kinds that you can get. But then you can also get something that they have called the lifestyle bonus. And every month, if I maintain my Emerald rank, which I don't always, but if I do, then I can earn that. And then when you enter into the Jewel level, then there's Diamond, and there's Sapphire, and there's Emerald. So Diamonds earn 3% of the company like profits, and then Sapphires and Emerald, I believe, are both 1, or maybe Sapphires are 2 and Emeralds are 1. And so that number kind of varies every month, but just based on the company's profitability, they kind of share that with the Jewels. And then And it's not like a ton. I don't want to like act like it's thousands of dollars because it's not. But I mean, every little bit goes a long way when you have this many children to feed. And so, let's see, get the car or the lifestyle bonus. You get company profit. You get a Jewel line. So, like, whenever I want to call customer service, I just call the Jewel line. They pick up. Oh, hello, Ashley. What can I help you with today? And that's kind of how it goes. And they get things done. And so, if y'all ever need anything that you need to get done, send me a message or tell Jennifer, and I will take care of it for you. And then the trip to Hawaii or wherever trip that they go. Last year they went to Mexico. This year they're going back to Hawaii. So with that trip to Hawaii, they pay for your flight for you and your husband, or you and a person. It doesn't have to be a husband. They pay for your hotel the entire time that you're there. Several meals. They have breakfast every morning, and it is like the most grandest buffet you've ever seen. Obviously they would have good speakers, you know, like 1 or 2 times while you're there, because you got to count it as a work trip, right? And they give you like a gift every time. Can't remember what we got in Mexico, but when we went to Hawaii, we got this really nice pair of flip-flops. So that's kind of the thing. But in order to go to Hawaii or the trip every year, you have to maintain that Emerald rank. Y'all know how it is, like every month your points kind of go up and down. So you have to maintain Emerald 5 times in order to earn the trip that year. So you don't just get it every time. Like some people don't earn it every year. You just earn it if you keep your rank 5 times. So those are sort of the perks, but I feel like the other side is that I don't know. I mean, I would have still kept doing this business if I wasn't a Jewel. It wasn't like a thing that I had to have in my life. It wasn't like it didn't change anything about me. Like, that's the thing that I want to let y'all know, is that it didn't change anything about my spirit. It didn't change anything about my heart. It didn't suddenly make me puff up because I was something, you know. I was just, in fact, it happened at a really good time because my husband had left his job because of really bad circumstances, but it was really God's will. And so he left in order to be full time at our church. And so for a few months, I just continued working my business and doing the mundane, and it seemed like my points kept going up. And February, I had been to my uncle's funeral. I believe it was that day. I think it was that day. It was about 4 o'clock on February the 28th, which is the last day of the month, as y'all know. And it was the shortest month of the year. So we didn't have, you know, like we have a couple days after people's orders go through to kind of get some more orders in to rank or whatever. Y'all may not have learned that yet, but I want you to learn how the way the compensation plan works. But anyway, uncle's funeral, you know, sad day. Come home and my points are like around 1,400. You need 1,500 to be Emerald. And I was like, Amanda, I'm not going to go for it this month. It's so close to, it's, you know, we only get today. And it was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes, Amanda had already messaged us and said, I think Ashley's going to need to go for Emerald. She's so close. And we started going through my back office and Sarah's back office and a few other people. Because Julie and Valerie, did Julie hit it that month or no?
No. Mm-mm.
She got the next month.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it wasn't it? No, I don't remember. Maybe the next or the next one. It was really close.
It was very close. Yeah. And so I'm thinking I don't know. Cause I remember when we celebrated and it snowed in Georgia in April.
It was
or March
really
or something.
close.
It was crazy.
Anyway, so it was kind of one of those, like, you know, it'll never happen moments. And I just remember as it all came through, I just really felt the peace of God. And I knew that I'm not going to cry. But it's not really about Plexus. It's about God's provision for our family. And I knew that he was putting his mark of approval on my husband's obedience. And I knew that it wasn't about me. It was about him. And so, yeah, that's what happened. And I still, to this day, I just cling to the Lord because it's not really about me. It's not really about the product either, because the product is just something that helps people. I believe it's about a whole lot more.
It is. Thank you for sharing that tonight. And y'all, she didn't know anything I was going to ask. So I didn't mean
Maybe
to
next time. I'm going to do this to you next time.
So, do you want to go ahead and stop recording?
Yes, I can. And anybody has a question.